From humble street food to royal feasts, the journey of your favorite meals is more incredible than you know. This is the history of the dish. The history of Spain is inextricably linked to the story of its most iconic dish, paella, a culinary creation that serves as a delicious metaphor for the nation's complex and layered past. To trace the origins of paella is to journey through the various cultures that have shaped the Iberian Peninsula, each leaving an indelible mark on its language, its architecture, and its cuisine. The foundational chapter begins not with Spain, but with Roman Hispania. It was the Romans who, centuries before the dish existed, introduced the crucial element of irrigation to the eastern coastal region of Levante, particularly around the city of Valencia. This engineering marvel transformed the marshy lowlands into a fertile paradise ideal for cultivation. More importantly, they are credited with bringing rice, Oryza sativa, to the peninsula around 200 BC. However, for centuries, rice remained a minor crop, its potential untapped. The true catalyst for paella's birth was the arrival of the Moors in the 8th century. These Muslim conquerors from North Africa were masters of agriculture and saw the potential the Valencian terrain held. They expanded the Roman irrigation systems, creating an intricate network of canals and water channels, and they revolutionized rice cultivation. The very name paella is believed by many scholars to derive from the Arabic word baqiya, meaning leftovers or remaining, referring to the practice of combining leftovers from a feast. Others argue it comes from the Latin patella, a flat plate, which evolved into the Valencian word for the wide, shallow pan, essential to the dish's cooking process. The Moors also introduced saffron, the golden spice that would become the soul of paella, along with key agricultural techniques like the alquería, a small farming community, which revolved around rice paddies. For centuries, this Moorish rice was a staple of the rural Valencian diet. The dish that would become paella began humbly in the 15th and 16th centuries as a practical meal for farm laborers and peasants. Cooked over an open fire of orange and pine branches in the fields, it was a communal dish designed to feed many with available ingredients. The original true Paella Valenciana contained none of the seafood now associated with it globally. Instead, it was a hearty combination of rice, water, saffron, snails for protein, and whatever vegetables were at hand, typically green beans, butter beans, and artichokes. Occasionally, rabbit, duck, or chicken would be added. As Spain grew into a global empire and its internal trade network strengthened, the dish began to evolve. In coastal areas near Valencia, particularly around Albufera Lagoon, which was teeming with seafood, the recipe adapted to local bounty. Mussels, clams, shrimp, and chunks of fish replaced land animals, creating paella de marisco. This coastal variation began its journey towards becoming the international face of the dish. The 19th century was a pivotal period. The consolidation of a national identity and the advent of rail travel brought people from other regions of Spain to Valencia. They encountered paella, were captivated by it, and took the concept home. Meanwhile, Valencians migrating for work brought their pan and their traditions with them. Paella began to transcend its regional origins. The 20th century, with the rise of mass tourism, particularly from the 1960s onwards, cemented paella's status as the national dish of Spain. Tourists flocking to the Mediterranean coast demanded this vibrant, festive-looking meal. This demand, however, led to adaptations and often drastic simplifications for the foreign palate. The notorious tourist paella that bears little resemblance to its ancestor, sometimes even turning yellow from food coloring instead of precious saffron. Yet this same period saw a passionate reclamation of the dish's authenticity within Spain. The people of Valencia guard their culinary heritage fiercely, and debates over the correct ingredients for a true paella are a national pastime. Thus, the history of paella is a history of Spain on a plate. It is a story of Roman engineering, Moorish innovation, and Christian peasant practicality. It reflects the regional diversity of the country, from the inland fields to the Mediterranean shore. It embodies the Spanish spirit of community and celebration, traditionally eaten directly from the pan with wooden spoons. From its humble beginnings over a fire in the fields to its status as a global superstar, paella is more than a recipe. It is a simmering chronicle of conquest, cultivation, and cultural fusion, forever evolving yet deeply rooted in the sun-drenched earth of Valencia. The recipes for all of our dishes are linked in the description below. Like, subscribe, and click on the next video.